In the cold, merciless rain of a city that never truly slept, a single dad named Nathan Carter stumbled into a nightmare he never expected. The night had already been overwhelming. His old truck had broken down on a deserted street, his son was asleep in the back seat, and the storm was growing fiercer by the minute. But everything changed the moment he turned down a narrow brick-lined alley and saw the shivering figure of a woman collapsed against the wall. Her police uniform was soaked in blood, her eyes barely open, her breaths razor-thin. In that instant, Nathan felt the world tilt. He had found a dying female cop, and nothing about this night would ever be the same again. If you believe that even the smallest act of kindness can change someone's entire story, please take a second to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And tell us in the comments where you're watching from. Your support truly keeps these stories alive. Nathan's hands trembled as he knelt beside the injured officer, Officer Emily Rhodes, who had somehow dragged herself into the alley after a violent encounter that left her gasping for life. The flashing glow of distant sirens colored the rain red and blue, but no police car was anywhere close enough to help. Emily's hand weakly grasped Nathan's sleeve as if begging him not to let her slip away. Nathan's instincts as a father, a protector, and a man who had known loss stirred within him. He couldn't walk away, not from this, not from her. He carried Emily in his arms, shielding her from the rain, pressing her wound with the torn fabric of his own shirt. His son, little Adam, woke up crying from the back seat at the sight of the blood, but Nathan spoke softly to him, trying to sound steady even though fear was clawing at his throat. He found himself driving with one hand while holding Emily's pulse with the other, whispering to her not to give up. The storm swallowed the road, the radio crackled with emergency alerts, and every second felt like a countdown. When Nathan finally reached the hospital, Emily was barely still alive. The next few days were a blur of worry and exhaustion. Nathan didn't have the luxury of rest. Between work, taking care of Adam, and making sure Emily wasn't alone in her recovery, he felt himself slowly falling apart. Yet, he kept coming back. Something in Emily's fragile resilience reminded him of a battle he once fought when he lost his wife years ago. He had learned then that the smallest gesture could be the thread someone clings to when the world feels impossible. When Emily finally regained consciousness, she couldn't understand why this stranger, this tired man with sad eyes and a warm smile, had stayed by her side. But as she healed, she discovered how deeply her survival had intertwined with Nathan's life. The police force launched an investigation into the attack, uncovering a dangerous group she had been tracking alone when she was ambushed. Her superiors were shocked she had survived long enough to crawl for help at all, but even more shocked when they learned a civilian single father had done everything to save her. Emily struggled with guilt and fear. Her career was hanging by a thread, her confidence shattered, and nightmares followed her everywhere. Nathan, without intruding, became a quiet anchor. He brought her home-cooked meals when hospital food made her nauseous. He helped her through physical therapy sessions when she thought she'd never walk properly again. He listened when she broke down in tears, overwhelmed by the weight of the job and near-death memories she couldn't shake. Nathan didn't judge, didn't push, he was simply there, in the most human way. Adam adored her, too. At first shy, he would bring her drawings, little paper police badges, and stories about school. Emily, who had spent most of her adult life chasing danger and justice, found warmth in their small, messy, imperfect world. For the first time in years, she felt like someone cared, not about her badge, not about her performance, not about her strength, but about her as a person. Meanwhile, the investigation grew darker. Nathan learned that the men who attacked Emily were still out there, watching, waiting. He felt an old fear returning, the dread of losing someone he cared about all over again. But Emily refused to let fear rule her. With Nathan's support, she returned to the force stronger than ever. Her determination stunned her colleagues, who had braced themselves for her resignation. Instead, she led the final mission that brought the attackers down. When the news broke, the entire police department erupted in disbelief. They couldn't let go of the fact that Emily, a woman who had been declared as good as dead, had walked back into the station not just alive, but fearless. And when they heard about the role Nathan played in her survival, many officers admitted they had never seen such dedication from a civilian. Emily's commanding officer even said that heroes weren't always the ones wearing the badge. Weeks turned into months, and Emily found herself drawn into Nathan and Adam's life more than she expected. Their home became a place she felt safe, a place where laughter replaced anxiety and dinners didn't feel lonely. Nathan's quiet strength, Adam's innocence, and the peace she found in their presence slowly healed wounds deeper than the one she survived physically, yet the real turning point came on a night when the rain returned, gentler this time. Nathan and Emily stood outside the small porch where Adam was asleep inside, warm and safe. The rhythm of the raindrops brought back memories of the night she almost died, but this time, instead of fear, Emily felt gratitude. She realized that sometimes the darkest moments become the doorway to the brightest beginnings. Nathan felt it too, that maybe life was giving them a second chance neither of them expected but both desperately needed. If this story touched your heart, please like the video, share it, subscribe, and help this story reach someone who might need a reminder that miracles often come from unexpected people. And before the story ends, we have a special request. Tell us in the comments what part of this journey moved you the most. Your words truly matter. Emily never forgot that she had been moments from death when a stranger became her lifeline. Nathan never forgot how helping her gave new meaning to his own life. And Adam, who once cried at the sight of her blood, grew up believing she was a living miracle. In a world filled with chaos, betrayal, and storms that break people apart, this unlikely family stood as proof that sometimes the most beautiful stories begin in the rain, with a single act of courage, a second chance at hope, and hearts brave enough to heal together.